Lola answers the charge of impersonation. CXC says no retake of math exams.
Kye Rymer is our new deputy premier and 2.3 million missing from WAPA. These and more stories when 24 News returns.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Welcome everybody, it's Friday, June 7, 2019. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Javon Wilson. Topping our newscast today, as ordered by the magistrate yesterday, June 5th, Lolita Calendar Skelton, also known as Lola, returned to court to answer to her charge of conspiracy to impersonate. Her lawyer, Stephen Daniels, in his presentation before the court, stated the key element of the offense of personation was not met by the prosecution. He said the case before the court says that Lolita conspired with Eric to impersonate and further maintained that a third party must have had been present in order for the defendant Lola to conspire with the unknown accomplice Eric, who is the third party he questioned. There is no offense before the court. His intention was to submit an objection to the continuance of the case for the statement that his client will not be answering to a charge that the prosecution cannot prove. The prosecution, however, strongly maintained that the offense before the court is that Lola would have conspired with an unknown person and they never named Eric in the offense. They said that Lola was the one who identified her accomplice as Eric during the interview that followed her arrest. They implacably dismissed Lola's lawyer's analogy that you need three persons to impersonate in this case and further pushed for the defendant to go to trial. Lola's lawyer objected to the continuance of the case, further stating again that his client will not be answering to a charge that the prosecution cannot prove, and at this point, she is unwilling to plead guilty to the charge. The magistrate rejected his notion, advising that he can make his point of objection at the end of the Crown case as a no-case submission, and further ordered that Lola goes to trial beginning on the 12th of June and continuing on the 25th as well as the 26th. Now, though she was granted bail in her last court hearing, she was allegedly unable to sum up the monies required and has since remained in custody. She was further remanded until her next court hearing, where a total of 7 witnesses are slated to testify against her.
Very interesting. Students and parents can now breathe a sigh of relief as there will be no retaking of the CSEC math exam by the Caribbean Examinations Council, as there was no breach. This announcement comes a month after there was reportedly a breach in the examination security in Trinidad and Tobago, at which point petitions were created calling for the entire region to retake the math examination. CXC, however, confirmed this week that that is not the case, as their investigation did not warrant an exam retake. After receiving written reports examining other material and following due diligence, it appears that there was no breach of examination papers before or during the time of the examination to this date. CXC did state, however, that they accept and agree that there appeared to have been a clear lack of supervision in the examination centers, which they said will be addressed. I know students and parents will be happy to hear this as they were all on pins and needles wondering if they would have to retake the exam.
I'm sure they're super relieved. Viewers, more news after this coffee and commercial break.
Get online today with CCT Go Fast LTE. Simply select from any one of our Go Fast LTE plan options. Each plan offers unlimited wireless residential internet and are priced to suit your budget and required data speed. Stop by any one of our locations and speak with one of our representatives and get online with Go Fast LTE, the BVI's preferred choice for reliability, speed, and affordability. CCT Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching 284 News. Honorable Kye Rymer is our newly appointed Deputy Premier. Today, June 6th, marked the end of the Deputy Premiership of Dr. the Honorable Natalio Shawande Whitley and the beginning of Honorable Kye Rymer's tenure. Honorable Rymer, though a newcomer to the political arena, is known to be hands-on, young, energetic, promising, and certainly personable. Another reason why people are rooting for him. The Constitution says if the Premier is to be absent from the territory for more than 48 hours, the governor shall authorize the deputy premier to perform the functions of the premier. This is also commissioned if the premier is ill and unable, to carry out his functions. The deputy premier is expected to serve on the National Security Council alongside the governor, the premier, the attorney general, and the commissioner of police, which is essentially responsible for all matters relating to internal security. Now, upon taking up office, Premier Foy coined the notion that his government will be embracing unconventional measures to grapple with the unconventional times we live in. On March 6th, during Dr. Whitley's instating, the premier announced that, and I quote, for the first year in office, each minister will hold the post of deputy for a period of 3 months. This is in an effort to build capacity. Your government is filled with potential and skills, and this course of action can only make us better. End of quote. While this was unwelcomed by some, the premier reiterated his stance, stating that inclusion is imperative to ensure that all members of his government is functional within this capacity. We caught up with Dr. the Honorable Natalio Shawande Whitley, who is currently in Guyana for CARICOM's Carol Festa meeting, and he had this to say about his time as Deputy Premier.
It was an honor and a pleasure to have served as Deputy Premier for the first 3 months of this Andrew Foy-led administration. I had the opportunity to act as Premier on several occasions, given the Premier's heavy travel commitments and heavy commitments abroad representing the territory. I was able to appear at several events and speak on behalf of the Premier. Persons who made courtesy calls to the BVI, I was able to receive them. I also was a part of the National Security Council, which was an enlightening experience. I also served as Minister of Finance and on several occasions had to sign documents on behalf of the Minister of Finance. So it was a very good experience for me. I have complete confidence in my colleagues who will follow after, beginning with Minister of Transportation, Honorable Kye Rymer. Whatever advice I can provide, I surely will, because we are one government and we have one goal that we have in mind.
We join the rest of the territory in congratulating Honorable Kye Rymer and wish him all the best in his new portfolio as Deputy Premier.
It's a very interesting style of events, Jovan. I want to play that game.
All right.
Today you're Premier, tomorrow I'm Premier. Let's do that.
Let's go.
All right. And just across the waters out of St. Thomas, USVI, some daunting information has surfaced as to what has happened to some $2.3 million of WAPA funds. The matter came about during the legislative body's committee meeting regarding the bill. It was at that point revealed through questioning that WAPA suffered a major financial loss. Senator Kenneth Giddens questioned WAPA Executive Director and CEO Lawrence Kupfer, and it was revealed that $2.3 million of WAPA funds had been wired to an offshore account, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations had been notified and was investigating. Mr. Giddens noted that the legislative body and testifiers were there specifically to discuss the bill, but as he said, Pandora's box had already been opened. When further probe was done, Mr. Kupfer said that funds had been wired to 2 separate transactions to an offshore account in May and June of 2018, respectively. Mr. Giddens then asked if WAPA executives have picked up immediately on the missing wired money. WAPA General Counsel seemed reluctant at first to respond, however, stated that they were not immediately aware of the May wire to the offshore account, but the June wire, was noticed instantly. The specific amounts of each wire were not mentioned, and because there is an ongoing federal investigation on the matter, further questions were postponed. It has been noted that it has been a full year since those transactions took place, yet USVI lawmakers have little to no information on when, where, or how this took place, or if the funds would even be returned. it seems like accountability is an issue that's happening all across the region.
All across the region. I hope that's resolved soon. 284 News takes this time to express our deepest sympathy to all the friends that would have lost their loved ones, that would have lost their loved ones over this past week. You are in our thoughts and our prayers. Viewers, that's it for your news roundup today. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284 Media, as well as 284 BVI on Instagram, as well as Twitter. I'm Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. This news segment is proudly sponsored by As You Like It Hair and Barbershop, located in the Mill Mall, right upstairs of Cito's Restaurant. Be sure to join us again on Tuesday at 3 p.m. as we deliver honest and impartial news right here on 284 News. Happy Friday and have a great holiday weekend, everybody.
4 days. See you
Enjoy.
on Tuesday.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.